Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxwoody, Tactical Trader to Tech Trader Comments. Thursday, May the 11th. These are the charts of the day. Well, it was a topsy-turvy day on Wall Street, down in the morning sharply, and then rallied the rest of the day to close down just a little bit compared to where it was. A lot of stocks we traded or are following did very well today. I'm going to show you some longs and shorts, so it's going to be a longer video than normal. So sit back, relax, and listen up. Starting with Azure Software. What a beautiful stock it's been, and it's been stair-stepping up nicely with a pop, flag, pop, wedge, and pop. So this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is wave 2. Looks like the third wave began today. Now, I'm not going to say that this stock can't get higher than, say, in this area up towards 18 or 19, but I think it may be due for a little bit of a pullback consolidation. However, I do think you're going to get this stock up near the 21 range eventually. Support now is about 13, and it's 3.77 days to cover. Bayozan really exploded and made a new high today, taking out the October high. If you go back a ways, you'll see this is the highest level ever reached. With big volume the last 3 sessions, it looks to me like my target would be about 25. Kala Therapeutics popped out of its wedge yesterday. We showed you that. There was a bit of a follow through. Now it backed off and finished unchanged, but I like the overall look of it. Volume was solid. I think we get to 17 and 19, and we'll see what happens on this one. CPN, 2 big explosive days, with about 32, 33 million shares total in 2 sessions. Now that breaks the major declining top line going all the way back. This was a stock in the mid-20s. It got all the way down to, the 9.25 range. But I think it may be reversing here. Let's keep an eye on the follow-through. The targets of 14 and 16, 16 and a half, right about there. This one's got 7 days to cover. CRCM in a nice stair-step move up. It's had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is wave 5. So it may be either accelerating into the 18 area or pulling back to consolidate before it gets up there. 3 days to cover in that one. DDD, well, this has been a beautiful run up, and it's had about 7 days in a row up, including the big reversal day 2 days ago. That tail took it from 1481 to today's high at 2148. So literally in 3 sessions, it's gone up 50%. For me, it looks to me like this has got the potentiality for making a move to test this zone up here near 26, 27 range. So we'll have to just see what we get with this one, but it does have a V-bottom, platform, and breakout. And I think we may be seeing a major bottom here. Look at the heavy volume on the upside. The ideal scenario is it pulls back near 1920, sets us up for more upside, 23 and 27 being targets, especially with nearly 15 days to cover. FIVN has been on my radar all year and on my top 25 all year. Base breakout, wedge, and then stair step its way up in a beautiful rising channel. My target, 29.30. Today it took a pop of about $1.52 or 7.5%. $1.05, excuse me, or 5%, and popped out across key resistance and target in that zone. So at this point, again, I'm looking for high 20s. IMMU, well, after stalling for a couple of days, it reversed off the low and finished it near the high. A nice engulfing day with an increasing volume of 7.5 million. It looks like it's coming up through, and this was the highest close we've seen in a long, long time. So I'm looking for now this to get 8.5 and 10 going forward. There's 13.7 days to cover on IMMU. IPXL, I still really like this pattern. It looks like a right-handed extended V platform wedge breakout and a follow-through today, which could make this up to 21, eventually 28. I'd love to see a pullback opportunity for us to get into it. There's 4.2 days to cover on this one. KEM, well, it was a beautiful breakout last week, and it kept going all week pretty much, except for this one stall day. If you take a look at what I'm seeing here, the stock's been moving up steadily in a nice rising channel. It looks like it has more to go. That was my target today, about 14 and a half. We had 14.34. And for now, I'm looking at this one as potentially moving up towards the 16, 17 zone. Great long-term chart. Wave 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wave 5 well underway. My person had an explosive breakaway gap today. And at this point, I'm looking at 10 and a half and 12 going forward with 5.4 days to cover. MDSO broke out through a double top today and didn't finish great, but it was up $1.35. This is a stock that looks like it's headed a bit higher. But if you take a look at the 74 zone and then 78 zone. Those are targets going forward. Match.com is up against its all-time highs and the high from October, and closing just a tad above it today, just under 20. I think this runs to mid-20s, like 22.3. Eventually makes it up towards 27.8. 10 days to cover on that one. What a day for NVIDIA, exploding all the way up to 130 and change before settling back 4 points. Still up 521 or 4.3%. And very strong volume, 48 million. This has traded 100 million shares in 2 days. And my target of 135 almost is reached today. So we'll see if it consolidates in that zone, but I think eventually you see 150, 180, and 200. PCRX, biotech stock, had a significant breakout in my mind, with these peaks across here being taken out today, and the volume increasing to 1.5 million. I'm now looking for 58 and then 65 going forward. This one has 6.3 days to cover. Huge day for Sangamo. I put a swing on it. Major breakaway gap on news. I'm anticipating that this stock eventually makes it up to 10. That's my intermediate target, my initial target, closer to about 8. Let's see if we, well, the secondary target is going to be actually 13.5. 13 days to cover as well with a big short position and positive news today. I don't think this is done yet. Huge volume of 15.7 million. SUPN continues to act well. And take a look at the pattern. It's a beautiful rising channel all year, and it now is up nearly fourfold in the last 12 months. But I don't think it's done yet, and I'm looking for 38 and eventually mid-40s. 7.2 days to cover for Supernus. TELL is now up for 5 days in a row, small but steady. What I'm looking for is, can we get up and test at 13.25 range? We get through that, I'm targeting high teens to low 20s. Almost 5 days to cover. It's already had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way move, so this, is less reliable, but it is breaking out. I'd like to see a bit more volume. BRX exploding with huge volume. 3 days in a row of volume over, in the 70, 80, 100 million share range. Looks to me like it may have a short-term resistance here, or it explodes right up to 17 before it pulls back. Either way, if we do get a pullback, it's an opportunity for, I think, a move up towards 17. And lastly, on the long side, XONE exploded out of a base with a bit of a breakaway. Volume picked up to almost 1 million. And to me, it looks like this is headed up towards the 15-16 zone, eventually 18. There's 16.4 days to cover on XONE. That's the long side. Now, a quick look at some of the boxes charts. It's pretty interesting. We can make money both ways, but that's what's happening. ALGT broke down. I put it on my list this week, and you can see what it amounts to a small bearish wedge, and if broken, should lead to 132 and 122, eventually down to 108. Right now trading 144. Pretty negative looking chart as it rolls over with a break it down gap and a bear wedge. AutoZone dropped back again, getting all the way down to 683 before bouncing 10 points, still down 4 in a day. You can see where support is, right about 681.82 zone. So if it doesn't hold it and it breaks down, I'm looking for 650. CATM is down and dirty, and I suggested covering it, but boy, it sure doesn't look like it wants to rally, does it? With now a drifting below support here, let's just say if it doesn't hold the 34.5 zone, this could drop into the high 20s. But I am looking for a snapback into the mid to high 30s for it before we enter on wave 4. Here's 1 and 2, and here's 3. So wave 4 could get us an opportunity for a short later on in the year. CWH with a large head and shoulders, with the right shoulder rolling over right now, this could easily drop down towards the mid-20s. Stay tuned, it's looking pretty dire. Cyber Optics, after breaking down and moving sideways, it broke down again, and now it's continuing to fall, looking like it has lower levels to come. They're 17 and 13.5. Dillard's looking ugly, and today that rising wedge got slammed for 10 points, 17.5%, and there's support right there. So if we don't hold that support, I'm looking for high 30s, 38.40. Dollar General, another brick and mortar, rolling over from the channel top, may have a lot to go to the downside. If you take a look at this pattern, the 67.8 zone is support, but the target's all the way down here in the 59.60 zone, if it breaks. Speaking of breaks, Dynequity got slammed this year. Just since November, it's dropped from 87 all the way down to under 50. a rising bear wedge, and then a breakdown with support around 49.5 to your targets 43. Express Scripts continues to look ugly, and we said so back up here in February when it's trading at 70. It subsequently drops to 57 and change, so it slams back to resistance, which it was broken. Now it's support that was broken, now resistance. Eventually I'm looking for this to get down to the 54.5 range and then around 50. Fossil keeps falling and hard. The bear flag broke yesterday and followed through today, down another $1.16 or 8%. Right now near the bottom of the channel, I wouldn't be aggressively shorting it, but it does look like this may not be done yet. IPHI broke down, snapped back to where resistance is. Probably a short. The negative technicals tell me this is still going lower. I'm looking eventually for 26.7. That could get ugly and fast. MSM, well, it broke down and now it's bear wedging. Today, dropping $1.75, a couple percent, but it looks to me like if it breaks this wedge, we could see this drop. And eventually, we might get a run down to test 77 area. That's my next target. Well, real estate investment trusts aren't doing well. And in particular, NNN has really rolled over hard. I mean, slam dunk from 45 to 37 in the last couple, 3 weeks. And I don't see any relief in sight to you. Perhaps we'll see 36 and 34 eventually, but I wouldn't be aggressively shorting any stock that's dropped that quickly. Probably looking for some kind of consolidation, bear, flag, wedge, etc. Rider Systems broke down a couple weeks ago, formed the bear flag, now it's rolling over again. I think you're going to see a run up to test 62.3 and eventually 57. Ralph Lauren, well, that big 3-month bear flagger consolidation looks like it may have been broken. Today it dropped 384 or 4.6%. And you can see if it drops below that level, I'm looking at 71, another 8 points down. SIG also rolled over and out of that coil and is at new multi-year lows. I don't think this stock has a lot of chance of recovery. I really do think you're going to see this down in the low to mid 40, mid to high 40, something like that. SPG, another real estate investment trust, and a very ugly chart. I noted that bear wedge a couple, 3 weeks ago, and it rolled over from 175 to 160, 60 or thereabout. I think it's headed down to 150 or less. Another retailer target looking ugly, rising wedge. Today broke apparently. Targets are 51.2 down here, eventually mid-40s. Ubiquity Networks. If they're breaking down, it's got a 4-day flag, but it's a bear flag and it doesn't look good. I would think you're going to see 44, 41, and eventually mid-30s. United Parcel, well, that one's about to roll over too. Just in the last 3 sessions, it's dropped from 107 and change down to 102.3 range, where support is. It looks like it wants to drop down and test 100 and maybe go to 95 or less. And lastly is VRTV, which I recently put on the list because of the broken channel. The snap back to it and the 50, and then a really big smackdown, followed by this bear flag. Look for lower levels around 35 and then eventually 29. Folks, that's the long and short of it tonight. Tomorrow is Friday, TGIF. Let's make some money and have a good weekend. HB out.